Have you done the July virtual crop sketch number 2 yet? You know, the one with the beautiful sun rays? That's what we're doing today. Come check it out. Hi, this is Kim with Mom's Creative Moments. Welcome back to my channel. There is one of our sketches this month for the virtual crop that everyone has just been so excited to do their version of. Tammy McEwen designed this for us, and it is a beautiful splay, kind of like a sunrise or a sunset. And it has the different, the different rays coming out of it. It's just gorgeous. And everybody has kind of done their own little take on it. I did mine, and I actually did post it to the CM blog. I don't do that very often, even though I do every single one of them. Usually I'm doing them a couple weeks after the drawings are all over, so I don't usually post mine. But today I am posting mine, so I hope that it's something that you will enjoy. It was really fun to figure out and put together. I did not have the little sketch that outlines how she cut all the different pieces. All I had were the measurements, that little note that was on the virtual crop handout at first, the blog handout. So I feel like I sort of created mine on my own a little bit because of the fact that I didn't have that to figure out which way to cut my paper. But nevertheless, it is super fun, and I hope that this is going to be helpful for you as we work our way through it. It's a really neat way to do a layout, and I hope that you'll try it in your albums. Let's check out my workspace. We'll get started. All right, so we are going to be working on sketch number 2 from the July virtual crop. This is one of Tammy McEwen's sketches, and there have been a number of people on the virtual crop Facebook page who have done beautiful renditions of this layout. So I have a lot to live up to do this one, but I wanted to, I've been doing all of the virtual crop sketches, so I wanted to show you this one as well. This one, it can be beautiful if you use paper with enough contrast. I think that's what I've kind of gathered from looking at many of the samples that are out there. If you use paper with enough contrast, then this just turns out majestic and gorgeous. So let's see if what I've chosen works well for this or not. So again, we're working with the Copper Canyon papers, and I pulled out 2 sheets of dark sea green cardstock, which we are going to use as well. Now we use, let's see, I'm not really sure if I'm going to need an extra piece of paper, so that's why I have these 2 sheets, which are just gorgeous, from Copper Canyon, and they really, this side is just so stunning that using this side is probably not going to happen, but we'll see what we end up doing. Okay, and I did pull this marbly piece also, just in case we need it for something fun. I love the back and the wood grain on the back, but I also really love the marble, and I think it blends better, works better with this paper. So we'll see if we end up needing it or not. I'm going to set that kind of off to the side over here. The first thing that we are going to do is we're going to create a frame, and typically when we create a frame we use cardstock, but today I'm kind of flipping that on its ear, and the reason I'm doing that is because we want to see a consistency in the paper that is the base for this, and so the cardstock is going to work much better to provide that consistency, as well as the contrast. You can see it contrasts really well with this whole color scheme. And so I think it's going to work better if we use the designer paper as our outer frame, and then we're going to use the designer paper to make the spray that goes in the middle. So bear with me here, okay? All right, so first off, what we're going to do is we're going to make our frames. So I'm going to just kind of scoot this to the side, grab my trimmer. We're going to make a 1 inch, we're going to make a 3/4 inch frame, because we don't need a full inch in our frame. So we're going to make this 3/4 of an inch. That means we are going to start cutting at the 3/4 inch mark here, but the base of our trimmer is going to start cutting or be lined up at the 1 3/4 inch mark. Okay, and I've put my paper to the 3/4 inch mark on the right hand side, which is basically the edge of our steel arm here that our blade rests on. Okay, so we're going to start cutting there, and we're going to come down to 11 3/4 with the end of our blade housing right here. Okay, so that's going to stop at 11 3/4, and we're going to do that all the way around. I have stacked my paper so that I can cut 2, because this is of course going to be a 2-page layout. So we need 2 of them, and it's just easier to do that all at once. So if you're not confident enough to do them stacked together, then do them separately. That's okay. Perfectly fine to do them separately. All right, one more cut, and the frames will be good to go. Okay, may need to snip these just a little bit here and there. Let's see. Wow, I should have come down a whole nother 1/2 inch. So I apologize for that, but I'm having to do more than just a little snipping on these. It's all right though, we'll get it. All right, so here are the outer frames that we're going to use. Now I'm going to tuck those under there, grab my cardstock. The cardstock we are going to cut at 11 1/2. So we're just going to cut a 1/2 inch off of either side. So again, stacking my cardstock so that I only have to make 2 cuts, and I'll have both sides good to go. Okay, so there's one of the halves. Here's the second one. By turning it, once, then we cut off the 1/2 inch on the other side. All right, so there we have our base. Now, before we get too carried away, Tammy recommends that we score the center of these. So I'm going to grab my scoring blade, which I keep right here. Oop, there it is. All right, put my scoring blade in there. And we're going to take each of these individually, and I'm going to score them at 6 1/4 inches. So just to be sure that I'm doing it consistently the same, I'm going to put my arm out there. And now wait a second, not at 6 1/4. We want to score it at 5 3/4. Okay, so 5 3/4 is going to be the center of this cardstock. And that's where what we want to score. Okay, don't score so hard that you cut through your paper. That's not what we're aiming for here. We are just aiming for a dent, something that you can see well enough to know where the center of the paper is. Okay, so there's my 2 scored pieces of cardstock. Now I'm going to replace my blade. I don't know why. I can open it with my right hand really easy, but my left hand not so well. Okay, so we're going to put the scoring blade back. And then we are going to keep this handy because we're going to need our trimmer in just a second. But before we get there, we're going to go ahead and adhere these to our frames. So I'm going to use my repositionable adhesive, and I'm going to add adhesive all the way around. Well, maybe not exactly all the way around, but darn near. Okay. And we're going to take this and center it. Now I've got my sort of water looking color at the bottom and my sand looking at the top. All right. And our horizontal scored line goes across the middle. All right, so there's one. And now we'll do number 2. Alright, if you need to measure to be able to center it, then go ahead and do that, but you don't have to. It's okay to not. Okay, so now we're going to look at doing this starburst. And I'm going to put my permanent adhesive up there because we're going to mainly use repositionable to do this so that we can get it right. Okay, so first off, what we're going to do is we are going to cut some strips, and she doesn't really specify how many strips to cut. We've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pieces, unless you mat them. Okay, so 10 of these pieces means at least 5 strips. Okay, if you do 10 strips, then you can do your matting probably. But let's just do 5 strips and we'll see where we stand with that, okay? It says make them 2.5 by 12 and 1.5 by 6.5. All right, so I'm going to use my trimmer and I'm going to make my strips this way. So 2.5 by 12. Now this isn't going to be a full 12 inches, and I don't know if that's going to be a problem, but hopefully it will not be a problem. We'll see, I guess, huh? So let's do some that are 2.5. We'll do, let's do 1, 2, 3. Let's do 3 that are 2.5. This will be number 3. 3 that are 2.5, and then we'll do 1, 2, 3. We need 7 that are 1.5. So let's see, 1.5. Oh, that's perfect because that'll be 2 of them right there. 2 that are 1.5. And the 1.5s are supposed to be only 6.5 inches long, so we need to probably break these down just a little bit. I'm going to lean heavy on the blue side because I think that's prettier than the brown. So, and these need to be 6.5, so we're going to cut them at 6.5. Well, actually, maybe what I'll do is I'll just try to put that middle, I'll try to put the middle right there, and we'll cut here so that we have an even amount on either side. So 6.5, and the middle is 3 1/4, and that's where kind of the break in the color is that I'm cutting here. Okay, so there's my 6.5 pieces, and it could be that the reason that she wanted a 12-inch was so that the angle is right. So we might have to play with the angle on these, but nevertheless. All right, so we need several more of the 1.5 pieces. We said we needed 7, so I've got 2, there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So then I'm going to take each one of these, we're going to cut them so they are the same as this. center line at 3 1/4, and we're going to cut flip it around. And these are going to be cut at 6 1/2. Okay, so then we want to cut them diagonally. And I'm right, we don't want to cut them all the same diagonally. Let's check and see here. I'm going to start with the one on the left, going left corner to right corner. And we'll do another one from left corner to right corner. This one, I'm thinking is going to need to be the opposite, but until I know for sure, I'm going to wait. Okay, so then I'm going to do a few of these from left to right. Do a couple anyway. Let's do a couple of them. Just really hoping that I'm doing this right, because many people told me they saw a video that Tammy did to explain how to do this, and I searched and searched and searched trying to find the video. I never found it, so I don't know where it got posted. Maybe it's lost on the virtual crop page somewhere, but I could not find it. It would have been nice if that had been included in the blog post, but it wasn't, so that's the way it goes. Okay, so now actually before we mounted this, I think it would have been easier to trim if we had not done that, but for now we're just going to do it this way. Okay, so I'm going to take some of these and we're going to choose a point, and I'm going to just mark with pencil. I'm going to go roughly 3 1/2 inches from the edge of my cardstock. And then that's where I'm going to mark my focal point. Okay, that's going to be where I'm going to try to bring this together. So same thing here. I'm going to just figure out where my 3 1/2 inches is. And mark it. All right, so if we do like that, like that, and these we'll put on the other layout. Maybe not. I'm trying to decide how that's going to go. All right, so here's the thing. I was hoping that I could do all of them on both sides going the right direction, but it looks like I either have to do all of them with the sand at the top or all of them with the water at the top. So we can do that, or we can flip it over and do something else in between. Because this is the something else that's on the back. But I don't know if I like that. I really want more of this. All right, so do like that. Have that one go the opposite. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'm going to end up cutting them all the same, going from this left-hand corner to the right-hand corner, I think. Except that this one isn't quite long enough. So, but I think it'll still be all right. Because this gets covered with embellishments. So if it is not exactly where we need it to be, it'll be okay. Just moving these so that they are roughly 1/2 inch in between, which works until we get over here to this side, because then we're a little short. So maybe we need just a little more room, because this one needs to be, oh, no, actually she's got hers coming up. All right, then let's do that. Let's keep that about there. So about 1/2 inch in between. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and adhere those down, and then it's gonna be tricky to trim those off. So we're gonna have to work, I'm gonna have to work together on that. And then the other side is going to be just the opposite. We're gonna be ending up going from sand to water, but I think that will be okay. Or if I turn these 3 around, and oh yeah, if we turn these 3 around and we cut from this end to this end, then okay, we're going to look at that a little closer when we get to page number 2. Let's get this adhered, and then we will proceed from there. All right, for this one, I am just going to line that up with the outside edge of the frame and the it's very hard to see without a shadow. There it is. Okay. All right, so to trim this off, I'm going to have to separate the frame and go ahead and trim each one and then put it back. All right, so it's buckling just a little, but there we go. Okay, let's do the other side while I consider how to anchor this, how I want to anchor it. Okay, so we're going to do the other side. I'm going to, because I really like having the blue at the bottom, so I'm going to do this this last 2.5-inch piece, and I'm going to start it with the blue end up here so that we have a blue point. And then these two can be the opposite side. So it'll be like this, which will be a little bit different from the other one, but that's okay. I think it'll be all right. And then the rest of these, I'm going to go ahead and cut. These are the 1.5-inch by 6.5-inch strips. These I'm going to go ahead and cut also with the water end up. So water end upper left corner, and we're going to go to the lower right. And I think that's going to give us what we want. I hope that's going to give us what we want. If not, I have a little bit more paper we could play with, but I would really like it if I could make that work. Okay, so here's our mark that we're trying to kind of go with as our starting point. There's my where is it? I can feel it with my finger. Okay, so we're going to be like that, like that, like that. Okay, then we're going to go like that. We're going to flip these over. I'm going to be one shy of what I wanted for this. So I think what I might do is just cut one more. so this one can be water down, water side down also. So we're gonna go, I'm gonna actually, let's see. No, we'll just do 1.5. Then got a piece left. So 1.5, then we cut it by putting that middle spot at 3.25, which was right about there. Let's go with that. Okay, and then we're gonna do left to lower right, water, something like that. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that is right. All right, so I'm going to start from this end, and we're going to go ahead and get this down. Oh, my edge. This way. Come on up. Alright, so I'm going to try these up. All right, let's check it out and see how we did. Whew, I like that. Okay, so here are our 2 pages. Now we need to, I have these 12-inch stickers that we're going to use, and I'm going to just add, I want to add just a little other something, but I'm not sure what. So maybe we should just add the sticker and call it good. Tammy's got a couple things added to hers up there, and up in here she's got a straight piece and she's got the border piece. I'm just wondering, not that we'll use this color, but what if we did a straight piece? Hold on a second. let me see what I can do. What if we added one of these? I'm thinking that medium craft would probably be better than these two. So let's try. I'm going to put 3/8 of an inch So let's get a good measurement for where this is going to go. Oh. All right, so this goes all the way to the edge of the paper, and I'm going to center it right on that center line, right on the 6-inch line is where I'm going to center it, so that I can keep it level all the way across. And then this is going to go just with the top edge at the 6-inch line. What's that? Like that. Okay, so I need to lift this one up. Carefully, so I don't peel up all my triangles. Okay. Darn. All right, you go over there. I want to make sure I've got my triangles all adhered well. This one came up. Don't be afraid when you're doing yours to put your adhesive all the way down to the tip of your, all the way down to the point there, because you want it to be nice and secure all the way down there. All right, so this is going to be same as that one, all the way across, and then this one will go level with the 6-inch line, remember? and all the way across. Okay. All right. Okay, now let's check out the photos that are going to go on this page, because we are also going to do a peekaboo pocket. Just one. We probably could have done more, but we're just going to do one. So here's our single peekaboo pocket that we're going to do. And I'm going to remove these for a second while I work on this. I've got 3 photos for either side, and I've got a tiny bit of paper left. I also have a little bit of paper, these papers left. So I could kind of make a mosaic. I'm not going to worry about the teeny papers, but the larger ones we could probably use. Okay, so let's see. What if we just made some corners with these? Let's see if we can make some quick corners. I'm just gonna envision about halfway . What would that be like? Let's see. Definitely easier than just cutting them myself, right? To use my punch, just put my paper in. First we're gonna cut it so it's even. Then we're gonna cut it or punch it. Like so, because then I can cut it across much easier. So I'm just putting this in here so that I can straighten out the edge. Oh, where'd it go? There it is. And then once I straighten out the edge, then I can put it in and cut it halfway. Not too hard. Okay, let's see if that is what we want. I'm gonna use my scissors to do the rest. I think I didn't quite make that square, but that's all right. Make it squared up. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and add these photos real quick, and then we'll just add some squares as accents. Just to bring in a little bit of the paper from the base. This one I want to move over just a smidge so we have a little more space. Okay, then we're going to add some cute corners. That and like this. All right, so that page is good, and we're flipping this Peekaboo Pocket this way. So these photos will go on here. It really was so pretty to see the Cliffs of Moher right at the sunset. I don't know if you're familiar with where they are located, but they are actually on the south, so the southern part of the island, but they face north. And they are right near the Aran Islands. So if you know where the Aran Islands are located, then you will have a reasonable idea of where the Cliffs of Moher are. They are stunning, in a word. And most people have seen them in movies. So I have to say, though, they are even more stunning in person. Truly. Most things are, I have found. So if you get an opportunity to go see them, go see them. Go see them in person. And you won't regret it. If you can, arrange it so that you're there at sunset. It's pretty cool. Right. I don't really think our tour guide meant to get us there right at sunset. It just sort of worked out that way. And we were very happy that it did. It had been a long day, and we were pretty tired, but it was pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. All right, so that's that for the Peekaboo Pocket. Let me grab one. Oh, actually, I don't have any handy. Well, I thought I had them there. Okay, well, this will go into a Peekaboo Pocket, and let's get the rest of our photos where they need to go. So we've got our 2 sunbursts. We've got our Peekaboo. I'm just going to set that up there for right now. Let me grab my pictures, which are right here. And these pictures are pretty easy because I did 2 enlargements. And so those are going to go on this page. So working with enlargements can be interesting, but what I have found is that if you make your photos match. So I cut this photo down to be 5 inches this way in order to make it match the height of my 5x7. Same thing with this. I cut this first photo down to make it match the 5x7 that goes next to it. You can see this wall right here goes all the way up the stairs as you climb the stairs to get a better view, and the ground on the other side of the wall comes right up to the level of the top of the wall. So when you are looking at the cliffs, that's why when you're looking at the cliffs of Moher from the ocean, and you'll see, because we took an ocean trip the very next morning, you cannot see the walkways here because the ground that you see from the ocean goes right up to the top of this wall. You can see it better right here. So just a very cool aesthetic so that none of the views are ruined at all. So really, really cool. Someone thought about that, you can see. We're going to do leaven this and maybe do some sprays of something behind it. Maybe a little bit of sparkliness to it too. What do you think? Do love these moments kind of with that. Just something kind of easy, simple. We don't add a lot of embellishing, but we should add something to journal on. I think maybe we'll end up, there's not really enough of that left to journal on. And that is a little bit more color than I really want to add. So maybe I'll wait and see what other scraps I have from the other pages and then build a journal box to go over here, because I would like to talk about the helping everybody get up the stairs so we could see. And you can see Emily on her crutches here, but her sweet brother bringing her wheelchair up to the top so that if her ankle gave out, she would have a place that she could sit, which was super sweet of Michael to do for her. So I think that's the way that's going to stand right there. This design takes a few minutes, and it is a little fiddly, but I think it's well worth it because it's such a cool design. Thank you, Tammy, for creating this for us. This has been a fun one to do. And until next time, I hope you have many more creative moments. Have a great day.